Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
September 8, 2020, the Softbank edition. First up, from the Financial Times, Kahn Minerals draws anti-bribery scrutiny. Apparently in 2011 or 2012, the Kazakhstan government entity that was spun off to become a private entity, Kazakhmys, paid for arranged for the travel of the Prime Minister and his family to France by private jet, visit Disneyland Paris, and stay at the George Cinq. This information has been apparently available for some time, and it worked its way to the Serious Fraud Office. The Kazakhmys employees, or Kahn Minerals as they're now known, arranged the trip, but the company claimed it didn't pay it. So the SFO is investigating, but without a payment trail, it may be difficult for them to move forward. It would seem rather anomalous if someone would arrange a trip that they wouldn't take care of the expenses as well, but perhaps they do things differently in Kazakhstan. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal. Apparently, the coronavirus pandemic has given compliance practitioners an opportunity to clean house. As reported by Dylan Tokar over at the Wall Street Journal Risk and Compliance Journal, the many companies in their compliance functions are looking to see how they can become more nimble and more quick through an internal cleanup. So they're looking at things that they have to do, things that they need to do, and things that they think they should do. So that also would move to third parties, distributors, resellers, and suppliers who pose a risk for the companies, as obviously vetting them. So if you're looking at putting resources into 100 companies, but you only use 25% of them, maybe it's a sign that you don't need to look at all 100 companies, and you can spend your time looking at the 25. So when you have to cut costs, the question is, do you need this? This exercise should extend to other expenditures that can be used to fund bribes, such as company travel and entertainment. Obviously, everyone's doing business in a way very culturally different from what it was before. Do you really need a huge meals budget going forward? Do you need a huge travel budget going forward? Are there ways that compliance can make the business run more efficiently going forward? Next up, we return to the Financial Times and our good friends at Softbank, who made a $4 billion bet on options, put options in the tech stock, driving up the valuation of U.S. tech stocks. The problem is that once this became public over the weekend, Softbank's valuation plummeted to $8.9 billion as unnerved traders pulled out of Softbank. And our final story of the day is a big tip of the hat to Dan Kahn, who's been appointed acting fraud chief at the Department of Justice Criminal Division. Dan, of course, headed the FCPA unit for several years. Congrats. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.